Hello and welcome to my channel, Lucille Williams with Christian Talk. Today, I don't really even know what I'm going to say. I just know that what I want to talk about is being a pastor's wife, and more specifically, how hard it is to be a pastor's wife. I don't think most people understand what it's like for the wife of a pastor. I mean, basically, you get your heart torn out on a regular basis. And I'm not kidding. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I'm just gonna use this to just kind of vent a little bit, because sometimes it gets really hard. Because let's break this down. You have a man who loves God, who loves the church, and who loves people. But people are broken. And people are messy, and people are flawed. And sometimes in loving those people, you get stabbed in the back, you get hurt, you get trampled, you get disrespected, I'm not even going to go into detail about some of the horrible things that have happened to my husband that have been emotional and tough and draining. And sometimes he just comes home and he's flatlined, like he's just given emotionally everything he can give, and he's just done, and he just shuts down. And on that, in terms of shutting down, sometimes, like on his days off, he gets 1 day off a week usually, and it's inevitable he will get a phone call. He will get some kind of a phone call from church of something that happened or someone that has to talk to him. The man gets 1 day off a week, and yet he'll either get text or phone call or whatever on that 1 day off. And sometimes if there's sensitive things happening, he'll leave his phone on because of that. But then what happens is it's like he didn't even get a day off. And I wish I could say that doesn't happen. Sometimes I'm like, can I just take the phone and can we just turn it off for today so you can rest? Because he's a man. He's a man, and he deserves to rest too. And so often people just keep coming at them like they're not human, like they're some kind of Superman, or like they're like God or something, and that they're not affected by things. But that's not true. I mean, they're men, and they get affected by things too, and their heart hurts for people. And that's the thing, when they're a pastor, they have a bigger heart for people. That's why they're pastors, and they're kind, and they want to help. And sometimes people will take advantage of that because they know that. And so sometimes people will take advantage of a pastor's heart. And when you're a pastor's wife, you see things, and you hear things, and you watch things, and you can get so frustrated because you just want to say, leave him alone, enough already. Like, this is not okay. It's not okay the way you're talking to him. It's not okay the way you're disrespecting him. It's not okay to treat him like that. But you can't, because you're a pastor's wife. So you just need to smile, and when you see people that have mistreated him, you smile, and you are nice to them, because that's what you're supposed to do as a good pastor's wife. You're just supposed to be kind. And really, I know that even just as a Christian, we're supposed to be kind to people, and so I just kind of go with I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and just be kind to you and love you no matter what. But sometimes it's really hard to watch what your husband has to go through on a regular basis. It can be really, really tough. And it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to watch, because I love him, and I don't like to see things happen. And it's just hard. It's just really hard. Sometimes he'll make decisions, and he's doing the very best he can. He's making the best decision possible. And just on a side note, my husband is a fantastic leader. He's the best leader I've ever seen. And so back to the whole decisions thing, he'll make a decision, and sometimes things go haywire. I mean, we all make decisions, and sometimes it doesn't turn out right. But when you're the leader, whatever that decision is, you take the fall for whatever happens. And he's the first one to take the blame. He's the first one to say, hey, I own this. He's the first one to apologize and say, okay, this is my fault. And I have to watch him take the blame for things over and over that he didn't do anything wrong. So often he'll tell me a story and he'll say, yeah, I took the blame on this and I apologize. And I'm thinking, you didn't do anything wrong. Why are you the one taking the blame? And yet I know that's just him being a good leader and saying, he's the leader, so he's going to take the blame on it. And I respect him for that. And I'm so proud of him for that. But it hurts. It hurts when he's hurting. And that happens. Sometimes he's just hurting, and I feel sad, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, I pray for him. I pray for him every day. But when I feel like he's kind of been mistreated and people haven't been kind, even though he's been kind, then that hurts my heart, and it's hard. It's not easy being a pastor's wife sometimes. But let me tell you, if I had to trade it, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If someone said you can go, whoop, you're not a pastor's wife anymore, he's not a pastor, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't choose it because I am so proud of him. And I know that God has a call on his life. And I know that he is doing things that matter for eternity. And so I'll bite my tongue. I'll smile. I'll pray for him. I'll pray for people that mistreat him. And I know that God's in control and that God has a plan and that my husband is carrying out part of God's plan, that he's part of God's big mission. And so am I, because I get to love him through it. And I get to try to figure out how to be the very best pastor's wife that I could be, how to be the best wife I can be. It's not always easy and it's not always simple, but I would choose it every day. I would choose it because I am so stinking proud of him, and I'm so proud of the way he treats others, and I'm proud to be his wife. And I love to see him honoring God and honoring other people and furthering God's mission. And so I wouldn't trade it. As hard as it is, I would not trade it. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. And check out my book, From Me to We. It's about marriage. And all right, be crazy amazing.